I feel like I miss Vietnam. And I feel like it's not because of I'm missing my home country. It's more like I'm missing a place that I feel I belong to. And it's so complicated to talk about, but I've been here in Canada for like 4 or 5 years. Like I've been here since I was a high school kid, and now I'm a college student. Like I am almost at the last semester. Like I decided. I think I come terms with this. I decided to, after I finish my college, like graduation and stuff, I will come back to Vietnam. It's like I feel like I will just fit living in Vietnam more. But how to say this? I feel like I like at this point it's like in a race, that you see yourself so close to the line, but you feel like so exhausted that you are not sure if you can reach that goal or not. I feel like I am at this position. Like I am at this position of like I'm seeing the end goal. It's just right there. It's like 5 months, 6 months more, and then I can reach my goal. But it's still 6 months away. I feel like, damn it, I miss Vietnam. I feel like it's more that I miss my home country. I feel like it's more like I miss a place that I feel myself belong to. Because like I think it's actually funny. It's like it's the first time that I admit to myself that I miss a place, I never thought to myself that I'm that kind of person. It's like, first one thing, maybe because I'm autistic. Like when I don't know, like one of my superpowers with being autistic is like I cannot tell the difference of my emotions. I cannot tell the difference of my attachment to a city or a place because I just feel everything is the same. It's the same road, it's the same sky, it's the same trees, it's the same everything. Like I don't know. I used to think it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I look at places in Canada, I look at places in Hanoi, I was like, yeah, it has some difference, but I do not feel that. I do not feel that in my bones. It's like I do not think about it or something like that. I do not actually feel that way. But like right now, I really miss Vietnam. And the problem is that I feel like the first question I always ask myself when I think about the fact that I miss Vietnam is like, how many years have I decided to stay here in Canada? I think it's like 4 or 5 years. And it's not a conversation about, oh, you cannot speak the language, oh, go back to the country and stuff. I feel like how to say this. Uh, like on like a basic level, I can understand the culture, and I can understand the language, which is the key to understand people. If you want to understand culture, you just need to learn the language, and then by the language, you meet new people, you learn like the new people culture, and then you kind of like learn things. So the thing is that, how to say this, I feel like I can migrate, I can interact with the culture. The problem is that I don't feel belonged in that culture. Like I come here as like a kid, uh, and I feel like, how to say this? I feel so many things. This is one of the things I hate so much about medicines. Like I do not even know what I feel because like my medicines make me feel nothing, but at the same time I feel so much. It's frustrating, but like, oh, I feel like it's much more than missing a place. Like when I talk about how I miss Hanoi, it's like I feel like in Canada, even if I can speak the language and I can understand the language and I kind of try to teach myself about the culture, I don't feel belong to the culture. I don't feel belonged here. And I think that it just starts off first with like the way that I look at prices and like the cost of living. The cost of living in Canada is so crazy, man. Cost of living in Canada is actually crazy. Like I look at how I'm supposed as a Gen Z, like how much I'm supposed to earn to make myself like a decent living. With that amount of money, I don't know. I will be like kind of like I will be comfortable living in Vietnam. What the fuck you talking about? I have to just like live day by day. Like, oh my god, how to say this? I feel like it's at the beginning, it's like, oh, the cost of living is so high and I cannot live comfortable. I have to worry about so many stuff. But the core of it's like, I don't feel any attachment to this place. I feel like I'm nobody here. I feel like I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not connected. I can try. Not even I can try. I have my friends here. I have people that I can talk to here. And I feel like at a certain point, I feel like they also respect me. But I also feel like I'm nobody here. It's like I don't feel any attachment to this place, and this place, Canada, doesn't have any attachment to me. Like, here's the problem. I think here's the key detail. I do not feel that I'm part of the culture. I feel like I'm not part of whatever Canada is supposed to be. I feel like I'm just a foreigner here, you know? Like, I'm just an outsider. And I feel like I'm looking at myself at this double consciousness of like how I look at myself and how I look about how others will look at me. I feel like I'm not a part of the community. I'm not a part of the culture. I can try to teach myself about it. I can try to migrate with it, but I can never be a part of it. And I feel like, how to say this? I feel like I'm at a loss. It's like, what is the point? Oh my god. Like, the problem is that I feel like in Vietnam, I'm so much more in control. And I feel like I actually have a narrative of what my life is supposed to be, of what people interpret me. I feel like maybe I still feel this obstruction of my language, of like my English speaking skill, or like my English skill or whatever, which is crazy because like I feel like I have decent understanding of English. I have decent ability to explain myself well in English, but at the same time I feel so difficult to explain myself, to explain how my trail of thought is, how like all of this idea that creates myself. And I feel like it's so hard to communicate that with other people, with people living here, because I feel like there's a part of separation between the culture that I am a foreigner coming to this country and the people who lived here, you know? It's so hard. It's so hard to explain it because I feel like forever it may still stay this way. So I feel like I'm not like it's not like I'm not seen or heard. I can make myself be seen. I can make myself be heard. It's more like, do I feel heard? Do I feel like I am seen? I don't feel so. Which I don't want to make that to be like the people's fault. It's more like of something that I feel as a person, but I cannot help it. Because I feel like I'm a foreigner to this country, and I will forever be. I can try to earn myself a passport, but am I a Canadian? I don't think so. I'm a Vietnamese at core. My son is raised with Vietnamese like teachings and standards, and like all of these kind of like experience makes me who I am. But I feel like I miss Vietnam, man. I miss a place that I can meet people that just understands me fluently. I do not have to explain myself. I do not have to speak in a language that I feel foreign to myself. Actually, I feel foreign when I speak in Vietnamese, which brings me to like my this dilemma of me just explaining myself. It's like I feel like I have spent a lot of time in Canada that like the core era, like the core time that developed my personality and my understanding of the world happens to be here. It happens to be stay in Canada. It happens to stay in English speaking like language. It's like it leaves me so terrible with my own mother tongue. Oh my god, that feels horrible to say. That feels horrible to admit it out loud, but you know, it's what it is. I feel like I miss Vietnam so much. It's like I wonder who I can be, you know? If I stay in Vietnam for my whole life. Actually, I do not like I do not regret that much about living here. I just do not feel myself belong here, man. I feel like I have to explain myself. I feel like I have to make people understand me, which is which is tiring. I want people to just like understand me anyway, which is the way that I understand them. I don't feel like people understand me. I understand people. People don't understand me, and it's so complicated. I feel like I don't have that problem when I was living in Vietnam. Every time that I come back to Vietnam, every time that I show up on Vietnamese media, I feel like people understand me. People understand that I have my own ethics, I have my own morals. Here, I feel like I have to explain myself every time. It's like, what even are you trying, cat? Ah.